Okay, this is the workshop on using the power of intention to help clarify goals in your life and to see if you can maybe wade through the mire of monkey mind distraction and kind of pick out little gold nuggets of things that are really important to you, and to get past that judging mind that wants to know the hows and the whys, and get pulled back into wisdom mind, which isn't concerned at all about the hows and the whys. It is only going to wish for you the best for you, and you're going to set the ball rolling by figuring out some things here and hopefully clarifying some goals in your life to help you get there. Now we're going to start with an odd theme, all right? We're going to start with a bit of chanting, all right? This is the chant that helps you honor the energy within you that is eternal, that overcomes so-called bodily death. So let's just sit up nice and tall or relax nice and easy here. Close your eyes, nice big yoga breaths to start. Please inhale tummy out, exhale tummy in. Just let everything settle down on the inside. The chant is fairly simple. I'll chant it a while for you. I'll see if you guys can chant it back to me. So make sure that you've got it, all right? But you just relax, nice big yoga breaths here. Tongue soft, jaw soft, faces soft. This is the chant to honor that energy within you that's eternal, that overcomes death, or so-called death, all right? And in this case, we're just talking about pretty much bodily death, which is pretty much is at the fear of most people's reluctance to do anything new, believe it or not. So we're going to help you honor that part of yourself that is not so panicked by this thought, that embraces it simply as transition and going to someplace newer and better and more fun and who knows what. So nice big yoga breath. The chant is Mrityun Jayaya Namaha. You already know Namaha. That means I bow to you. You can also use Swaha, which is I invoke you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to use Namaha. Mrityun, M-R-I-T-J-U-N, Mrityun Jayaya, J-A-Y-A-Y-A. Mrityun Jayaya. I'll sing it for you in a minute. First I'll just say it for you to get used to the sound. Mrityun Jayaya Namaha. 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 Two more times. Mrityun Jayaya Namaha. last time. Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Good. Just breathe. Nice big yoga breaths. Now go ahead and imagine what you would think it would be like to go through transition. It's at the end of your life. What do you expect is going to happen to you from whatever tradition, whatever you've read, whatever feels good to you, whatever pops into your head? Go ahead and imagine what it's like to take that last breath, leave the body, all right, go into that sort of transitional time period. It's 3 days long, where you get used to, you actually withdraw energy from the 5 different layers or koshas. The first one to go is the physical, and then I think it's the intellectual and the mental and emotional, and the bliss body is always continuous. That's what you're pulling into eventually. You're pulling back into bliss body, which is not affected by this in one way or the other. It never is affected by anything. So go ahead, please. I'm just going to give you some time here to pull together what you think might be an experience of transition for you going out of body for the last time. And just breathe. Again, if you need the mantra, if you get panicked, use the mantra to come back to center. Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Use your imagination. It doesn't matter from what source. You might be surprised at what your conception of this experience may be. Check it out. And just breathe all the way through and use the mantra if you need it. All right, now very gently come back to yourselves. Keep your eyes closed. Bring your hands over your eyes. Blink your eyes into the hands to let the light in very gently. Just bring the hands away. And if you want to write down anything, go ahead and write it down. All right, writing it down may take way longer than it took you to think it up. It's like dreaming. You can watch somebody have a dream in real time, and it'll take maybe a minute or two, but get these people to explain this dream. If you wake them up, it takes them 15 minutes to explain what was basically downloaded from their unconscious into their conscious. So if you find yourself a little surprised at how long it takes you to get it down, you know, just keep going until you feel like you've got something that you can reference. Okay, now, the reason I have you do that is there's a new book out with a new study, and this gentleman was interested in the near-death experience, and he's taking a lot of the landmark studies of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, but he was actually going and interviewing people, you know, in a similar vein to that. And Kubler-Ross, I don't know who she interviewed, but all these people seem to have the same experience of going down the long white tunnel, and your loved ones are there, and it's all bliss and wonderful and great. And I don't know how diverse her group was. He apparently interviewed quite a bit more of a diverse group. And what he found was that it wasn't so much a matter of the white-like long tunnel being consistent. It's whatever these people thought was their concept of heaven is what they experienced. All right? So you've got an expectation there a bit. You know, you're out of body. It takes some getting adjusting to. That's where the mantra can be very helpful. It will see you through a lot of the rocky shores of what's called the bardo, actually, in Tibetan Buddhism, but it is those 3 days of transition, very similar to going through adolescence, where you have to get used to not being in a physical body anymore, and you go through the physical, all those different sheaths from the most dense to get back to pure bliss body, and after that, you know, you are going to do whatever you want to do there. From a reincarnation standpoint, you pretty much tend to reincarnate about every 144 years. Most people go through transition, 70 years or 80s, so that in between time of going out of body and coming back into body for the next incarnation, you can make progress just like you do here on the physical plane. You can certainly make progress on the spiritual plane. So if that's your idea of heaven, is to grow spiritually and to tap into undiscovered realms of being and untap spiritual powers and creativity beyond belief. But it's going to be a nonlinear world, all right? You will have no such thing as a concept, no such thing as time. So that's where meditation comes in, a lifetime of meditation, yoga, getting used to getting your focus where you want it to be is going to see you through, you know, a pretty rocky transition and serve you well in the sort of the in-between time between when you leave and when you come back. So now we're going to kind of rewind a little bit with that in mind, and the power of the mind now kind of established, maybe in a different way. All right? So we're going to grab your handout here. All right. And this is from 5 Wishes by a gentleman named Gay Hendricks, Hendricks, and his website is Hendricks, Hendricks.com. He has wonderful books, been writing for years. All right. For you, how to ignite your power within. Now, you don't have to wait to die to have any regrets or get some insight. All right. Remember, if you'll remember, we watched that movie last night. Your mind doesn't care whether you're imagining it or it's really going on. All right.
What movie did you watch last night?
We watched What the Bleep Do We Know? So we're going to use that to our advantage here. So we're going to get a visualization going again. And imagine this is many years in the future, and you are on your deathbed. You know this is it. Someone comes to visit you and asks you, was your life a complete success? Was your life a complete success? And if the answer is no, and be honest, you have nothing to lose at this point in your life. If the answer is no, all right, and I'm giving you what's on the sheet is what you'll put on your worksheet. All right, or you can write it in between here, all right. But you're going to do this in stages. It's like going from rough draft to final copy. So what you pull out of your head here is going to sound something like this. If you were to respond to them, no, well, why not? The main reason my life wasn't a total success is because I didn't what? And go through it 4 more times. So pull out something. It's not in any order at this point. Pull it out of your head. All right? 4 remaining reasons why your life was not a total success. My life was not a complete success because I didn't. Number 2. Number 3, my life was not a complete success because I didn't whatever. Number 3. Number 4, my life was not a complete success because I didn't what? And the last one, my life was not a complete success because I didn't. So pull it out of your head. Boom, boom, boom. It can be anything. It could be mundane. It could be grand, world shaking. Don't judge. Don't, censor. Be honest. This is you talking to you. Anything. I wanted to be a gardener. I wanted to, do rescue work with animals. Wanted to be a cartoonist. Don't censor. Whatever comes up, let it come out. Now kind of mull it over and see if you can pick out the main thing. So take some time. I'll give you a couple minutes here. You can take this home and do it. This is just the beginning of a shift in your awareness to clear the junk out. What was the main reason your life wasn't a success? And if you've got to pull out something else pops in your head, oh, sorry, that was it. Fine. We'll talk about replacing wishes later. Get it in some kind of order, just for now. This will change, that's okay. But you just pulled some raw data out of your mind and see if you can start to, give a little bit of thought. And this is using thought in a good way. This is using your left brain thinking skills appropriately. They're like a tool. But they don't need to be running the show all the time. Kari, would you like something on your feet, or are you just happy sitting like that?
Oh, no, this is good, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, this is raw data at this point. You're going to have to sleep on it, you're going to have to think about it, meditate on it, pray on it, whatever. The reason we phrase it negatively first is it seems to open people up more. Seems to open people up more. Okay, now, when you're okay happy with what you got, okay, Now we're going to turn these statements into positive statements as if they are happening or already happened. So look at number 2. When you've got it kind of sorted out, first reason, you're reasonably happy that that's the main reason. The other 4 reasons are in reasonable order. You're going to turn these statements into your wishes. So instead of, my life was not a complete success because I didn't, it turns into, for my life to have been a total success, I wish I'd, whatever. So take your main reason and rewrite it, physically rewrite it on some part of the handout piece of paper. Physically rewrite it, for my life to have been a total success, I wish I'd, and write it out, whatever your main reason was. Notice any physical, mental back talk. We're going to talk about back talk in a moment. Your skeptical scientific self saying, yeah, right, I've done this 1,000 times. I never got anywhere with it. I couldn't sustain it. I got a little bit of results. It just didn't seem to be in me. And then go ahead for the next 4 reasons. And I wish I'd, and I wish I'd, and I wish I had, and I wish I had. Write it out. Physically write it out. You may notice some things that are starting to get triggered. All right, that's good. Maybe sadness, anger, fear, resistance. All right, regardless of what comes up though, imagine an open door. Welcome them. All right. Okay, you're going to be working with unknown limiting beliefs that have been lurking in the subconscious. All right, you're going to come face to face with old programs that were installed and you didn't even know they were there, or you got a lot of emotional investment in them, or whatever, and that's all right. So some of the limiting beliefs that may come up: I'm too old. I don't have enough money. I'm not smart enough. Before I can, and I have to wait until. All right? So this stuff's going to come up. Boom. Right? There's great value in welcoming this type of stuff coming to the surface. All right? Because once they come into the light, they lose their grip on you.
And if they don't, unconsciously, they'll just you'll self-sabotage.
Yep.
If you don't.
Yep. They're going to lie down in the muck there and wreak havoc. That's why I tell everybody undertakes a yoga practice, you're going to come face to face with what you thought was you, the limiting thoughts, beliefs, but that's no more you. then your sneaker is you, or a freckle on your nose is you. And now is the time to uncover and start to deprogram them. Now, the stuff that comes up is, you can get a handy phrase for this, back talk, sass, ego mind, monkey mind, back talk, all right? And throughout the process, be aware of back talk, the mind chatter and other reactions that happen when you introduce a more positive idea into your system. The negative stuff is going to have more of an impression on you. That's just the way we are. What you're doing is getting a positive idea introduced into the system, and you're deliberately reinforcing it. So like we talked about last night, you're building new neural networks that if you focus on them long enough and hard enough, will begin to get the juice of your life flow in them and will dismantle the older limiting junk. It's like you build a bypass around, an old crummy area. All right. So expect some back talk when you introduce the radical idea that you can fulfill your own deepest wishes. All right. This is going from God transcendent to God immanent. The God within, or the master within, or the divine within. Right. Western style, traditional religions don't promote this very well. They want you looking at the divine is outside of yourself. And Eastern style traditions will start with that perhaps as an entry point, but eventually bring you right around to embracing the master within. All right, that's their starting point. Welcome the back talk. It's completely natural and normal. And that's actually a sign that the new idea you are starting to plant in your mind is taking root. So I tell you guys in standing postures, monkey mind's starting to rock and roll. That's a good sign. You're stirring stuff up. It's starting to, rock and roll. For example, let's say your wish is, my life is a total success because I'm now thriving in a loving relationship with my soulmate. And the moment you say to yourself out loud, your mind fires off a stream of back talk like, well, that's impossible, or forget it, nobody in your family's ever had one of them. All right, back talk might show up in your body or your emotions. Maybe it's a wave of sadness, a twinge of tension, a clenched jaw. Accept any and all back talk. Just pull into wisdom mind. Notice that you must have done something right because you're getting some kind of a reaction. All right? And when you accept it, it's a quick way to learn what your barriers have been all along to realizing your goals. You need to know that so you don't backslide. For example, if your back talk comes in a wave of sadness, it's likely that some old undigested sadness has been standing in the way of your finding a partner and developing a loving relationship. And that's good to know. It will help you grow compassion for yourself. The best attitude towards back talk is to reach out and embrace it with love, compassion, and understanding. No need to criticize it for its shortcomings or to waste time in recriminations. Just give it a loving nod and hug to any back talk you get and move on to the joyful creation of your fulfilled life. So you're going to get to tailor your 5 wishes here, all right? Let's go back to the 5 wishes. Now you had a little bit of back talk going on here. A little bit of back talk. Look at the 5 wishes. Are they any of them you want to say, oh, forget it? And as you go through this process and nothing seems to be happening, you're going to have to do this again and again to clarify that this really was your top wish. Any of these wishes belong here, all right? Now we're going to rewrite it again. So get some room. Number one wish. My life is a complete success because I'm now whatever. And then go through the other 4 wishes. Worded exactly the same. We used to call this in English, that's your starter of the sentence there. My life is a complete success because I am now, and I'm now, and I'm now, and I'm now. Write it again. And I'll give you a little practice at the end here with your mala to do this. It takes you 5 minutes a day. My life is a total success because I am now. The back talk's going to be there, all right? But you focus on writing it out physically. If your back talk has been, your downfall up till now, remember every moment is new. Every moment is new. All right, this is something like any other practice. The more you do it, the more effective it's going to be. So it's up to you to take the ball and run with it and implement it in your life. Maybe start out small. Start to see the results you're going to get. Take it from there. Number 4, action steps. You start with baby steps. All right? You just look at your list and what can you do now that'll help you get a little further towards what you want to do. Right now. Just right now. Others may take some time, skip it. Just whatever you can, a little baby step you can do right now, even if it's, dealing with back talk more effectively or whatever. That's a good, real nice next step in the right direction. Baby steps, just like we do in yoga. Nice, gentle stretch, little by little. If this is getting too much for you, you can go back to that mantra, Mrityunjayaya Namaha. There are all different ways to deal with the back talk.
Can you write that down anywhere?
What?
That mantra.
The mantra?
Yeah.
I can spell it for you.
Okay, I was going to say, if you want to spell that for me.
MRITYUNJAYA, Mrityunjayaya, and of course Namaha is Namaha. I bow to you, or Swaha, SWAHA, and that is an I invoke you. Mrityunjayaya Namaha. Now, as you go through the process, all right, you stay open to further modifications of your wishes as they begin to, you move into your life with them. Try them on for size mentally. Think of them as a wonderful new wardrobe of clothing. Make little improvements here and there so they'll fit better by improving the wording of them, or replacing them with wishes that strike you as more to the point. All right? But, big but, before you do this, ask yourself, am I abandoning it simply because I think it's too hard to accomplish? All right? And a good way to answer this question is with another question. If it were not hard to accomplish, would I still want to do it? And then you can take it from there. Right, human beings have a great deal more capacity for achieving their goals than they usually give themselves credit for. You really can achieve all the important goals of your lifetime if you get your heart and mind into harmony with what those goals are, and that's where the juice comes from. Words don't cut it. They have to resonate in your heart. They have to, even the thought of them, it makes you smile and joyful and brings more energy to it, even if it's just a little bit at a time. The back talk will be there. You know that. But if you keep your focus on that wonderful feeling of opening up and it's so outrageous, I love it, all right, you're on the right track. All right, don't let any, remember those limiting beliefs there. They really are, it's just old junk. All right, so you're as you put this practice, as you go day by day through it, and it doesn't have to take very long, although you may find as you get into the practice and you get into the visualization of what you'd like, now that it's clear in your head, you can start to bring the energy into it. It's like decorating. If you buy a house, they say the first sign of somebody buying a house is they got a half decorated in their head. All right, so get these goals to where they mean something to you. You see yourself, you can very specific things like the shoes you're wearing and the food you're going to be eating and where you're going to go. Have a ball. That should really set something off in you that's fun. It should be a fun process, all right? Ultimately, the only thing that matters is the quality of your goals and how they resonate within you. What chord do they strike within you? From the perspective of the deathbed, what matters is that your final breath comes in with the sweet satisfaction of a life fulfilled, and it goes out with a blessing of a life complete. All right, you are satisfied. If somebody came to your deathbed and said, "Did you feel like your life was a complete success?" You could sit there with a big smile on your face and go, "Oh yeah," and then some, and then some. Right? From the perspective of right now, what matters is that your next breath energizes your intention to fulfill your destiny, which should have popped up to you in these 5 wishes. All right? All right. So here's the practice to use. You can either use Mrityunjayaya for your mantra, or our old friend Gum for Ganesha. All right? You'll get out your mala. It's just 1 round. It's 108. Not a big deal when you're only saying Gum. A little longer when you do Mrityunjayaya. All right? And it doesn't matter which one you do first. You can do your japa mala first, or you'll be doing the writing first. All right? But I get a notebook. You're going to be doing a lot of writing. And you can do the Gum, 108, all right, pull it across that finger there, Gum, 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 gum. This is a 54-strand mala. I'll go around again. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. Eyes closed, open, doesn't matter. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. Gum, 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 gum. All right? And then you'll take your notebook. And if you want to work with just 1 wish at a time, I'd take the main one first. And just as you wrote it down here, write it out 9 times. 9 times. For my life to have been a complete and total success, I wish I'd blah, blah, blah. For my life to have been a complete and total success, I wish I'd whatever. For my life to have been a total success, I wish I'd whatever. For my life to have been, 9 is the number of completion. You can write out more if you want. If you really get into it, but it has to be some multiple of 9. Because 9 is the number of completion. You can do it 27 times. You can number them ahead of time and write them out. You can write it as long as you can stand it. It doesn't matter. But 9 will be, 9 is minimum. That'll work for you. All right, so that's your practice. Now that you've decided, all right, and you understand maybe a little bit more about back talk, you got 2 good mantras here. He didn't, that's not his edition, that's mine. All right. You've got the Mrityunjaya to really, most people's fear of implementing these new ideas really runs right down to fear of death, and it can be fear of death on all different levels. And so that can help you get back to center. You can always use gum or Om Gum Ganapataye Namaha or Om Gum Ganashaye Namaha for Ganesha to get the remover of obstacle energy in there, or you can do both. All right. So now that you've got this maybe a little more clear in your head, start with the first one, or you can do 9 for each one of them. You know, that's up to you. I'd set aside, I don't know, 20 minutes or something to do this, even for the first week or so. But it's like any other practice. You know, the first couple days, it's kind of fun and you're into it, and it's got sort of a kind of a nice glossy glow around it. And then, oh my God, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm late, I don't have time to do this. We'll do it some other time. All right, but if you get a chance, you know, let it start to help you get past whatever was bothering you. These are mostly self-imposed limitations. And you are certainly allowed on every level to explore them and move past them. That's what you're here to do. If you're doing anything with the law of attraction, you'll know part of it deals with the law of allowing. At some point you come up with that part of yourself there, parent figure, what they used to call pig parent and transactional analysis, or somewhere along the line you have internalized this message that you're not allowed. That is a first chakra thing there. Ganesha helps transform first chakra survival issues into the higher up energy as it flows up the spine, as the Kundalini starts to open up. So if you're into allowing, if you go run right up into an allowing thing, let Ganesha, or that Ganesha obstacle removing energy, help you understand your way through it. As he mentioned here before, as you look at the back talk, you may notice physical reactions, sadness, terror. That is something that's unresolved that maybe now you can begin to deal with. All right, as I tell people in the yoga class there at the very beginning of yoga class, you are letting your guard down. All right, and that may take some getting used to. All right, but if you're aware that the guard is being let down, use it as an opportunity, as an unsolved opportunity, as one of our friends says, to see what was blocking you and help you get past that. All right, so be aware of the back talk. Have some fun with it. It should be fun. All right, and get it going. There's really nothing to stop you. Any questions from anybody? Yes, no? Okay. You may have done this 1,000 times. Try it again. All right? Okay, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. Namaste.